A little good news today on a day when the people of the United States can use a little good news. We, of course, will be following the earthquake in California, and I'm told now that Ron Allen is standing by in San Jose, California, with a report there. Ron, what's the latest news out there?
Bob, a lot of attention has been focused in the major metropolitan areas of San Francisco and Oakland. We have gotten some information from some smaller communities such as Los Gatos and Santa Cruz down closer to the epicenter of the quake. There is significant damage to report there as well. In Los Gatos, for example, there are a number of fires in the downtown area that were just extinguished this morning. They had major problems with water. There was no water pressure, no power to extinguish the blazes. There is heavy damage to about 30 buildings in the downtown area. We're told that some of them were knocked off their foundations. Others are suffering from severe structural damage. We are told that there are several blocks of buildings that may have to be demolished. The mayor has declared a state of emergency. The area is cordoned off, and sadly, there have been some reports of looting. The story is much the same in Santa Cruz, another area that was very hard hit. Rock slides have been blocking some of the roadways, hindering people who are trying to get around in that area. Their downtown historic district is also cordoned off, and we are told that residents have been notified that it will take some 24 to 72 hours before electricity and telephone service is restored. Those counties are in the areas that President Bush has declared federal disasters, and residents have been warned that they should be very leery of aftershocks, which could still cause significant damage. Bob?
There is some good news from out your way, Ron. Jerry Bowen reported a little while ago that some of the people who have been trapped in that double-decker freeway in Oakland, where so many of the deaths occurred, the police now believe that some of those people are alive, and rescue efforts are underway now to try to get them out. We're also advised that the World Series game, baseball officials met this morning, and they have canceled the game for today. It will be determined later when the next game will be played. These, of course, are pictures of Candlestick Park on videotape. Survey crews went into Candlestick today and inspected the stadium, and indeed there was some damage. There were large pieces of concrete that people carried out of the stadium yesterday that just broke away from the main structure. Dave Ryan of station KPIX filed a report about troubles on the San Francisco Bay Bridge just a little earlier, and let's go now for that report.
This is the area where the bridge has split. You can see up at the top of the bridge now you have Caltrans engineers and workers are now going over the structural damage, and they are now actually beginning to work. Their concern is not the upper deck, it's the lower deck, and as our cameraman pans down, you can see why. The reason is you are looking at water. That is the lower deck of the Bay Bridge. It is split in half, the roadway, and you can see the water of the bay beneath us. The problem is that when this section of the upper deck collapsed onto the lower deck during the earthquake yesterday, it split the roadway in half and did extensive structural damage, and it could take perhaps 3 weeks or more to repair the damage. And you can see, again, this is part of the damaged upper deck of the bridge, which has collapsed onto the lower deck, and we're now panning around to show you, again, some of the damage. There is still one car here, and again, you can see where the roadway has split, and you can actually see the water now through the bridge.
Some of the more spectacular pictures of that break in the bridge, and as you just heard, perhaps 3 weeks to repair it, and I would say that's at a very minimum. It may well be much longer than 3 weeks before they get that bridge back in operation.